Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back. We're here with another NTW3 historical battle for you today, and today we have the Battle of Neerwinden, fought in 1793. So this is probably one of the earliest battles we have done. We're technically not even in the Napoleonic Wars yet. We are still very much in the Revolutionary Wars fought between France and just about all of Europe. So this is the War of the First Coalition. This is a battle that takes place in the Netherlands. It's part of the Flanders campaign of the War of the First Coalition. So mainly fought between France, sort of like the Habsburgs, so Austria, also the Dutch, British, and I think the Prussians as well were all involved in sort of like the Flanders campaign. This is a battle between the French and the Habsburgs in this case. I think the Dutch also were present, but we've just got 4 Habsburg armies here, as we don't have any Dutch sort of like factions at this point anymore. It's a bit of a sad thing. One of the things that I kind of miss from NTW3 is all the small, very niche factions being on their own. But yeah, this is a pretty major battle in this war. There was nearly 50,000 French at this battle against about 43,000 coalition, led by the Prince of Coburg against the French, led by Charles Dumouriez. This was actually a coalition victory. It actually forced the French to evacuate the entirety of the Low Countries and give up this ground temporarily before they eventually did make a counter-assault later on in the Revolutionary Wars, and eventually they did puppet the Netherlands and make it the Batavian Republic. And we have a charge going on here straight away from the chasseurs of Cheval here, and they've gone into a squarable unit. Probably was a little bit sus to expect that the first unit able to come over the road was going to be anything other than a squarable. And there you go, that Chasseur Cheval routed there. Some Chevaliers come in and deal with it. Obviously, these units are kind of like, obviously they're not the right area, they are the closest available. But I think this is 1799 Rhine that we have here. It won't have changed too much. Technology and uniforms wouldn't have changed that much. Commanders would have changed though at this time period. The French chopped and changed commanders quite a lot during this period. I think during the Revolution they got through like dismissed or killed off like over 100 generals. That was either for various reasons, even like not being good at their job, having royalist sort of like leaning towards the royalists, like having sentiment towards them. Maybe they served under like the king before and they just got rid of them. But yeah, it's kind of wild. It's a very, very chaotic period. I've been reading a little bit about it recently. The Republican era of like France is a very chaotic period, and like just changing of like administration constantly. I don't know how the French even won all these battles while they had like politically so much instability going on. But yeah, this one isn't actually one that they win historically. But we'll see whether history's changed, whether the French can turn it around and actually defeat the Habsburgs. I don't think the French Rhine in this period is actually a great. I don't think any of the 1799 Frances are that great. Certainly the players playing them in this battle, mostly subs of the channel, and they are usually not enthused when these factions turn up. So we'll see how this one goes. We do have 4 different corps here. We have Saint-Suzanne. We have Le Courbe, we have Moru, I think is how you say it. I think he ends up in Egypt with Napoleon later on. He also does help with sort of like a joint attack. As Napoleon attacks through Italy, he actually attacks across the Rhine. So he sticks about for a little while to come. Oh gosh, infantry here just shooting away at this French cav. And then yeah, this French cav is actually under Gauvin Saint-Cayer, who also makes it throughout the entirety of the Revolution, because he actually becomes a Marshal of France, de Saint-Cayer. He must be pretty old by that point, I would imagine, but I'm not sure how old he is during the Revolution. But by the point of Napoleon's period, I would have thought he'd be quite an old general. But yeah, so it should be an interesting one. This one, it's certainly, I don't know what what caused the Habsburgs up, but I imagine similarly matched ones. It certainly will be an interesting one, that is for sure. But yes. Does look like we're going to have Saint-Suzanne, one of the sort of like weaker corps over here, is setting up against the Habsburgs already, and they are using trilliers and things like that just to sort of weaken the lines here. And looks like we've got a lot of sort of like German troops here, like Wittenberg and Batavian maybe, like troops. These look more like Allied troops than they are like actual Austrians with German infantry. Well, like, you know, like they call them German, like Deutsche infantry, but they're really Austrians. But yeah, they actually look like allied states that are here to help out Don't know why the artillery is so far back. Ah, I was thinking, why is the artillery so far back? It's because it's actually a howitzer. That makes sense. That you don't need that on the front lines. And it looks like the Habsburgs were sending a lot of troops as far as here. These do look a bit more. Some of these look a little bit more Austrian. Some of them definitely are still not Austrians as well. Maybe a little more like Saxons. Also hussars. That's one of the main things that I feel like in this era, like the HRE, very, very good for cav, can bring a lot of it, and usually a lot of infantry. They usually have a lot of everything. The infantry is usually nothing to be desired, but the cav is usually quite good. French, I feel like their cav is kind of lacking in this era. The cavalry battalion is pretty good, but some of it is not so great. They have chasseurs and dragoons and hussars as well, but cavalry battalion make up their heavy cav. Got some here. Reasonable, but you all seem relatively big, that's for sure. 67, like they're big units, that's for sure. Be interesting to see how this one goes down. Yes, if you're a fan of all things NTW3, I want to see some more historical battles, generally just some more custom battles. Do just leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment as well, hit the notification bell. We have plenty of battles for NTW3 most weeks, and also there's a weekly stream usually on a Monday. Takes place. Oh my! I just realized, what is this? What is this that the French have here? This is a French marker here. Is this a French artillery piece? This is a French artillery piece. How has this got here? What is going on? How did this happen, France? How did you get in? This is like special forces going on right now. This is that is crazy. Okay. I'm not going to question it. We're just going to move on. But yes, if you want to see any more sort of like love for NTW3, just hit the notification bell, hit the like button, or subscribe. That's really throwing me off my bit it has. Oh, do we have a France that's supporting? Oh, maybe we have a France that's supporting. Okay, we don't have 4 HRE. We have a France player as well. I presume they're representing the royalist troops here. So yeah, okay. Maybe I'm wrong. This isn't a sneaky army. This is going to represent French or Dutch troops, maybe. It might actually represent the Dutch troops. Okay, so we are basically where we left off. Unfortunately, the replay did crash, but yeah, we are back to where we are basically at. So yeah, I think these guys, I think what I was saying was these Frenchies, I think, are either going to be like French royalists, or more likely, I think they're Dutch troops fighting for the Holy Roman Empire. I'm going to guess, I think one of the French corps, I think it is the French Rhine one, has like a lot of Dutch troops in it, so you can just recruit those and bring those exclusively. I think that might be the case of what's happening. I could be wrong entirely, and it could just be just random French troops. We'll see when more appear. I mean, these guys all in their green uniform, they don't look very French, looking a bit more Dutch, if anything. And same with this artillery piece as well. Not looking... I mean, it looks a bit Frenchy, I'll admit. So, but it doesn't look like entirely French. It's a bit more like Dutch or something like that. But anyway, we'll work out what happens in a moment. But yeah, there are 3 HRE armies and then 1 random French one as added to the mix in this one here today. But yes, it should still be a very, very fun battle. I'm looking forward to it. It's good to be like in these early period ones. I know like the mod's not really made for Revolutionary War battles, but this is kind of the closest you're going to get. I don't feel like we'll ever have a total war, or even like a mod that would like dedicate itself just to the Revolutionary Wars, just because they're kind of like, you know, overshadowed by the Napoleonic ones, and it's still a very short period of time as well. Really are the Revolutionary Wars. Yeah, it looks like right now at the moment the French really stacking up over here. We have Saint-Cayer and we also have Amoru, who are like really stacking up in this area here. I mean, they're both pretty strong cores. It's 19 points there. Both kind of really pushing hard here. The HRE really haven't set up. So I mean, if they wanted to, the French could really get moving. They could get these guys set up in a position. These Polish troops here and grenadiers, so that they are stacking up, ready to go in. You can see these guys with their bare skins, ready to go in battle with their bayonets. And it looks like the HRE here are putting some decent musket volleys into the Frenchies there. And there is a building here now under occupation by, looks like some Bavarians or something like that, are now occupying this area here. It looks like, yeah, the French are going to retreat with their Polish and grenadiers there, and maybe try a different tactic in their assault. There also are like HRE cavalry on their way up. They look like they were maybe going to get ready to counter a French push as well. Looks like the French are some chasseurs cheval. They're maybe going to risk a charge think those might have been the ones that were routed right at the beginning of this battle. But yes, looks like we're going to see a good old line battle get underway here. Lots of Trilliers as well, trying to chip away at the at the HRE. The HRE is very much a very multicultural army, has its own problems, so you can rely on a large pool of manpower. It means that your manpower can't talk to each other. So yeah, we've got all sorts of Germans, Austrians, Slovaks, probably some Italian and French troops here as well. Well, we do have French and Dutch troops here, of course, as well. Well, at least that's what's making up at least part of this army anyway today. Yes, it'd be interesting how this one goes down. It does seem as though Sankaya is being a bit more patient, waiting for an opportunity. I don't know if they could maybe do some scouting, see if there's any more HRE troops at this side of the bank. There is an artillery piece by the looks of it, hidden over here on this hill. But also, if they have swung in and hit these guys on the flank, it looks like they are changing their angle exactly for that reason. Maybe they are worried about Sankaya doing that. I'm not sure. Looks like French taking up this open middle area quite nicely here, and I think the Dutch are in front of them, or Dutch or French royalists. I'm still not sure what they are. Someone will probably tell me in the comments played in this one what they were supposed to represent. I think they're more than likely they're Dutch. There aren't any French emigres at this one as far as I'm aware, like one of the other names that they had. There's like an incredible amount of French officers like changed sides with the revolution happening. I think it's something like 20,000 French officers left the revolutionary cause and joined the French, French emigres army, like either the French royalist army, that kind of was a thing during the revolutionary wars, or just joined other nations like armies. Russia had a considerable amount of French officers in their ranks, and as did the Austrians and various other Prussians as well, had various French officers as well. Brits not so much. I think they trust the French, whatever happened. Got some 4-pounders here. They're chipping away at the HRE lines in front of them. There's certainly, you can see here, I mean, the cav... I don't know, this is a huge cav unit, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's good. There's a lot of cavalry battalier out here, actually, and that could do a lot of damage. Be interesting to see if there's any more. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure there's enough HRE cav to match the French, if not more. Looks like a lot of hussars. Not exactly heavy cav, but it might be good enough to beat them. These look like chevaliers. And again, more hussars here by the looks of it, getting underway. It also looks like it has been a little bit of a charge there. Trilliers getting routed, but they managed to rout a cavalry unit by the looks of it as well to the French. So that's a bit of a win, I guess. Looks like it might be a hussar unit that's now running off the field of battle, and it looks like we're going to see a counter charge here from the French going in, trying to take out. Well, actually, they managed to take it out pretty easily. Yeah, there you go. Chasseur Cheval getting taken out easily by the house here, and some of the light cav there as well. And wow, as I leave one side, the other cavalry battle takes place there. I just can't catch the action at the moment. There you go. All the cav actually managed to rout each other here. That is surely some sort of weird, chaotic action happening. The French cav is rallying, so some of it is anyway. The HRE cav did rally for a second, then rerouted. So yeah, there you go. The French, I guess, kind of winners out of that one. Some of the HRE cav is also going to return. So see what happens there. But yeah, that is kind of unlucky for both sides there. Neither can really take advantage. Looks like we've got these. Yeah, I think it's Dutch. I think it is going to be Dutch troops. These look like dragoons that are Dutch, but in like the darker blue uniforms, not in like the green of the French. Yeah, that kind of makes up my assumptions there. And looks like we've got Chasseurs from Sankaya. They were going to make a push across here, and they changed their minds. I don't know why. There is a lot of cav waiting back here. Maybe that's why they were worried about it. And there are also, looks like, more HRE troops shifting in this direction. Looks like a lot of grenadiers as well, and also German or Austrian infantry as well shifting in that direction. French now moving forward with line infantry. Looks like they're getting ready to storm this ruin in front of them. It's going to be a tough one, because I think they only have... Well, actually, there are 2 access points, one in the back, one in the front. So it will be difficult to still storm those. There's cav and other infantry officers supporting. Trillier and a gun is coming up here. That is going to be handy. And oh, there's a French cav that got all the way back here. Wow. It's Dragoon from Sankaye go right into the back. Looks like it's going to be challenging an Ulan. Looks like it will win, but it does mean that the Dragoon has been found. Actually, I'm not so sure. Maybe the Ulan's going to win this fight. And there you go, it has. But yeah, there you go. So the Dragoons have won that battle, but they're now going to face a much tougher opposition here in the Cuirassiers. So good to know that the Hatchery have brought some very, very heavy cav. You could almost call it probably super heavy cav, really. But yeah, there you go. Absolutely annihilate those poor Dragoons. And there you go. Sankrae's little cavalry expedition in the back lines is all over. But it looks like another cavalry fight is going to take place. It's round 2 on this right-hand flank for the French here. Looks like the French cav not getting an early, good start early on. Managed to rout one of the Austrian cav. They might get routed here themselves, though. They need to be careful. They're like cavalry battalion coming in to try and save the day, and they should surround this, and they might, I think, now have one victory on this flank here with the cavalry. So I think the French now have cavalry superiority, but these cav units are weak. They have routed once. They are probably paper thin when it comes to morale. So just keep that in mind when keeping an eye on those cavalry there. But back to this action here. This is where the real fight is going on. We have a battle going on here. We have so the Polish infantry in here engaging the Octavians for this ruins. I don't know how the morale does not look good for the Polish units here, though. We've been routed. Going to get routed in a moment, I imagine. Because I mean, look at the angle. I mean, this is what they got to deal with right now. The French. It's like they're storming this side of the ruins and they get shot in the back by HRE infantry. That is an execution. That's straight to the Geneva, like straight against the Geneva Convention. You're going to the Hague for that. That is brutal. But yeah, I honestly think, yeah, Sankaye is going to try and do some magic on this flank here. Try and damage the HRE, try and rout them here maybe. Or is it an all-out assault across the sort of river here to try and weaken HRE and then maybe work their way down the line before they actually take this this ruin. I mean, they can keep sending units in. These Grenadiers look like they're going to go next. I don't think they'll be able to get in. The Grenadiers, though, are going to give it a go. Seems a bit foolish of them, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I mean, look at that. They've lost 13 men on their way here. And I'm sure they'll lose more as they go. I mean, look at this. It's a 1v1. This guy is 1v1ing his way through this Grenadier unit. He's turning on a friend now. Oh, rip. His friend died. Alright, dude. Yeah, I mean, this is brutal. Yeah, losing slightly. And that's just because they're getting shot in the back by other Austrian infantry. We have got some artillery crew that have been routed here. I think that's from Trilliers and stuff. It's not... No, nothing's charged forward to get that. Units breaking. Oh, Sankaye's losing chasseurs all the way out here. That is unfortunate. Again, it's just the musket volleys and artillery. I think that's nothing other than that. Yeah, they broke quite easily as well. 69 out of 86. They clearly just weren't good infantry. Another cavalry battalion here, getting hit by cav. Yeah, this little expedition clearly is not going to work, I don't think, for the French. Here we go, though. A charge from the French and HRE cav meets in the middle. And the French are going to come out winners of that one, it seems. The Trilliers still are going to survive. Could they just countercharge with the Dragoons? I don't know, maybe. Could have used those cavalry as cover, I feel like, to get forward, but maybe not. And again, the Grenadiers routed here, so not looking good. I think maybe the cav did actually rout this HRE cav did manage to rout one line infantry. Still, yeah, a bit of a waste. They lost another cav unit. Cav is king in NTW 3, as you should know. Yeah, looks like lots of Dutch infantry waiting back here patiently. They're going to use as a reserve. So yeah, good to see in a way that the Dutch are here, I guess, even if they are under a French flag. The cav, yeah, they kind of were thinking about going for a charge there, the Schomburg Dragoons. They've got more cavalry battalion back here. I feel like the French right now in a bit of a sticky position. They don't know where to go. Can't really go forwards. They can't stay where they are. They're getting shot to pieces. They're losing this gunfight, that's for sure. Bodies in comparison between the HRE. They've got a fair few dead, but I'm sure once these French units move, they'll uncover a lot more dead Frenchies under here. It's certainly looking tough. The poor old bluecoats, French. Maybe history will repeat itself. I don't know. It's certainly looking that way at the moment. The French are going to need something spectacular. I mean, it's early days, very early days. A lot of shots in the battle still to be fought. Making an early call, though. But it'd be nice. It'd be nice to see the HRE maybe win. I feel like they're always seen as a pretty weak faction. But I guess maybe against early period France, you know, not too bad. They can hold their ground. Line infantry losing here again, losing in those in these line fights. And yeah, look at this, the French. There's a lot of dead bodies down here for the French. Doesn't look like a lot, but it is. That's a lot of dead French. I mean, some of these units have lost like 30, 40 men. Or maybe not that many, maybe 30. And the French have gone in for a cav charge. Look at this, cavalry battalion going in. It's a do or die operation here. I don't know if they're getting any support. They're going to get infantry support. Here we go, line infantry now going in. The 20th line infantry. Both sides flanking here. Cavalry battalion is going to hold its ground. They managed to rout a couple of units here of the HRE. It will start a chain reaction. One infantry unit has broken. The cav's broken as well. That is a good start. Moreau here is doing a very, very good start. Can he carry on with his cav? Might rout its redlining already. And it looks like that was enough for the cav. The infantry though fights on against the Austrian infantry down here. I'm actually going to see a counter charge now by Uhlans from the HRE. They're going to try and rout the French infantry. That might do it. You never know. French caval's coming up because some hussars coming in here. The Les Filibusters. Oh my gosh, they got hit hard by artillery. There's an artillery crew right there. Charge these Dutch guns, you fools. Charge. Yeah, you got to get in there. You got to get in there. Kill these Dutch guns. Got to get some use out of this cavalry. It's losing slightly in this combat. I think it's probably just kind of like engaged. Oh gosh. Don't know what's happened here. Oh, we got Dutch dragoons coming in. Okay. Dutch dragoons rout the French hussars. And now we have Lecourbe coming up with his French infantry here. That is trying to again also make a push, but the Dutch are already awaiting. Look at this. Look at that mass of Dutch infantry here. It's technically Frenchies against Frenchies. Lecourbe sending in his infantry, trying to challenge these Dutch dragoons down here, trying to do their bit. And the melee fight continues along this line. Look at this. It's brutal. We've got Grenadiers of Hungary coming up here now. And the cavalry battalion has found a gap in this HRE line. This could be huge. If they can get in behind and swing on the HRE here, that will be massive. But the HRE bringing up more Uhlans. They're going to charge into the flank. Try to do some damage here. There you go. Already redlining these cavalry battalion. That is a big, big win there, I think, for the HRE. They might stabilize. So then this cavalry in the back was going to be all sorts of problems. They're trying to get away. They're trying to get out. Wow. How did they break the Uhlans? That didn't seem possible. There you go. This cavalry's going to carry on. They're charging in the back of the Batavian units over here. They might actually. They are engaging the unit. Technically, it's inside the buildings, like 3 guys that stood outside. But it's not going to matter. The Batavians inside the building hold strong. And looks like some Chevaliers or something are coming in to just mop up that cavalry battalion. Make sure it never returns. Infantry for the French, though, is still pushing on. Look at this. They don't give a damn. They're going to carry on pushing. They break. And that was a very, very messy start. And we're seeing Lecourbe over here now duel with the Dutch. I think there's Dutch Grenadiers down here as well, maybe. These guys with like the red feathers, you know, the heads out of the hats are probably Grenadiers, I imagine. Yeah, it looks like both sides here dueling with infantry and cav in this fight. Very, very messy. You've got Grenadiers, the line also coming up. I don't know in a line fight who would win, the French or the Dutch. I would have thought maybe the French. I can't imagine the Dutch have got great infantry, but we'll see. They're going for a charge anyway. Very confusing who's who here. It looks like the Dutch are going to lose out in that fight. They're redlining now, but they are stabilizing, so I don't know. And there are also Grenadiers, the line in here. Looks like the Dutch infantry or the Dutch Grenadiers there are routing as well. That might affect the dragoons that are engaged with the cavalry battalion. They are wavering, but they're not broken. Look at this. A lot of French infantry breaking. I feel like Sancaire and also Moreau are going to have to rethink their plan here, their game plan. Lecourbe right now is the main one making the push here against the Dutch. Don't know if it's really working yet. It's hard to also tell what's in the corpse and what isn't, but he has got Grenadiers of the line here engaging. They're defeating a lot of Dutch troops here. We've got another Grenadiers of the line here. They're engaging a square. They could break this corner. They could maybe force back the Dutch. Seeing Le Corps bring up more Hussars. I think these might be re-rallied ones, actually. Yeah, the filibusters. We've got, yeah, more the Les Miracles de Valmy, you know, the famous Battle of Valmy, fought not long ago in this time period. But Dragoons here as well. A lot of cav massing up in this area. Could they make a push here? I feel like the Dutch can't form square with many of their infantry, I'd imagine. I don't know. I don't play with the Dutch infantry very often. That's what I'm guessing. We actually have some Dutch chasseurs, looks like, by the way, going in. They might rout these French grenadiers, get them off the battlefield. Looks like also the Hussars going in. They actually have been repelled by a Dutch square, so maybe some of them can. Again, they look a bit more grenadier-like. They got like the red on their shoulders there. I feel like that's you know, they usually the French units have like red markings on them to represent grenadiers. Yeah, a lot of these line infantry don't have that, so that's my guess. That's my guess. Again, looks like the French have been repelled just about on every front right now, but they are inflicting a lot of heavy losses onto the HRE and onto the Dutch down here. So they are whittling away, but they're also, you know, whittling away at their own resources. Not endless. Got some Dutch chasseurs there, you know, showing off their beautiful green uniforms. HRE actually being aggressive on this side here. They believe they have Saint-Suzanne on the run. They might, in fact, you know. It doesn't seem like he has a large corps, that's for sure. Relying quite heavily on that cavalry, which has been successful, but is now retreating. And it's getting pushed by another HRE cav unit. Whether it's a returned one or whether it's a fresh one, I don't know. Yeah, it certainly seems as though Saint-Suzanne here is just going to have to delay his... delay this HRE army that's fighting him, while Le Corps maybe tries and pulls some sort of victory out of nowhere here. Dragoons were trying to be successful but failed, and we have a HRE cuirassier here on the front lines. It's engaging, looks like some line infantry that can't form square here for Le Corps. That's been routed, and here we go, the heavy cav is coming forward. See what gets done here. Cavalry Battalion going to try and counter maybe. Look at this, we've got very close musket fire going on amongst this tree line here. This is where Moreau is making his new, like, sort of assault. Being shot on the flank, look at this. Shot on the flank by HRE troops. And he's now being forced to retreat as he redlines. Not good at all. And look at that, the French are having a tough old time here. A tough old time. I certainly think the answer is still where the Dutch infantry lies. I think that's where you're going to break through if you're going to have any sort of luck. Whether they can, it looks like they are as well. They're shifting a cause, another cause troops over here. We've got some of Saint-Caillet's troops from the left flank over there, which has seen very little action. And they're shifting troops over here now to the center to try and bulk up this area. We've got chasseurs there, some good shooters, the chasseurs. They're coming forward and they're going to try and do their bit. Maybe try and whittle down the Dutch and the HRE's shooting ability, rather than their melee ability. Villiers is also trying to chip away at the French here. Sorry, not the French, the Dutch. I keep wanting to call them French because they have the French flag. It's very confusing. I don't like it. Yeah, here we go. I mean, Saint-Suzanne again on the retreat. He's actually, you know, he's chilling back here in Saint-Suzanne. He is, you know, waiting patiently. The HRE, I mean, you could still win this fight quite easily. It's very doable. We can manage to get them into a melee fight. That would be a big win to start with. Being howitzed constantly at the moment. I forgot they have a howitzer on this flank, but yeah, that could cause some chaos. But here is a good opportunity here. Wow, okay, so they managed to get into the Dutch chasseurs, have some of these hussars down here. They have found a square though that can, one of the Dutch units for the square we have having HRE cav counter here. Yeah, that is, well, that's, I feel like the French came out of that with not really gaining anything. And also the Dutch I mean, have lost out there. They've lost 3 units actually of infantry in that engagement. The HRE luckily came in and saved the day. I think the square might have done just about enough as well. Really, it would have been good if the French could have backed this up with infantry, but I feel like they're running out of infantry quite a lot. They've got a lot of cav mass over here of various different corps. The Corps, Moreau's, got Saint-Cahiers here as well. Yeah, so certainly cav, they don't seem like they've got an issue with them. I guess they would maybe worried about the HRE having a lot of cav, which they do. They have a cuirassier back here. We've got another one back here. I think it's another cuirassier. Yeah, another cuirassier there. We've got some hussars, all sorts. I mean, we've got a few Dutch units as well listed about. So yeah, they've done the right thing, bringing a lot of cav. Infantry though, they're kind of lacking a little bit, and the HRE have certainly got the numbers, and it seems like the shooting ability right now. Saint-Cahiers right now needs to get the rest of his infantry, I think, over to this side. I don't know what he's firing his 8-pounders here, trying to support the fight, I think, as the HRE are coming forward here. Now maybe the time for Saint-Cahiers to send forward his infantry here, try and rout these HRE troops. Could be a good opportunity. There's a little Dragoon here as well that maybe could come in and do some damage. There are also, wow, I didn't even realize there's guns in here mixed in. There's 4-pounders mixed in. They can do some deafness and do some dangerous damage. Those infantry, but they are now retreating. I think they realize their mistake, charging guns head on like that. Looks like we're also preparing for a mass assault here from the Dutch, and then also the HRE have got a cuirassier coming forward as well to support that fight. This could be the make or break here for the French. If they break this Dutch advance and the HRE advance, it could be a win for them. If they don't, it could be GG really, because this is going to be the French centre smashed if this goes wrong for the French here. There's lots of cavalry that can come and challenge this cuirassier, and here he comes. He's coming rolling in. He's going after the little light infantry. That's not a good target really. Not what you're going to be smashing into. Down to orange morale for a moment. Seem like they're not good. Here come the French coming in counter-charging with their cav. They are forming a square here as well. They're going to probably shoot into the flanks, and that might be a cuirassier dealt with, to be honest. I don't think that's going to be an easy fight there for the HRE. They're probably going to get double team with cav. Some Dutch infantry out here getting smashed about as well. We'll see. Oh, again, another cuirassier going on this flank. Yeah, that has managed to rout the chasseurs. We'll carry battalier now, counter-charging going in. And they'll do what they can. And there you go, cuirassiers have actually managed to break through. That is not a good sign there, as the hussars are now going to get chopped down as they retreat. You're going to see a chasseur Saval that's just coming to the flank, going to try and break that. It is a weak unit there. But they have managed to do it. Look at that, chasseurs have managed to rout that cuirassier. That is a huge win there. The carry battalier also coming in might have helped. Now they need to stabilize the other side, really, if they want to have any chance of victory here. We got the Dutch also engaging in a melee fight. Can they break these cuirassiers here? I don't know. We'll see. HRE infantry marching forwards and backwards. It's all going on. Grenadiers going in. The Corps is trying to hold this line. The cav though is broken here. The cuirassiers for the HRE have retreated instead of sacrificing themselves again. We had a cavalry charge over here from Dragoons pushed on. Looks like Saint-Cahiers tried again another little push here. I don't know, just trying to get these guns out, which are in a very annoying and difficult position. He's having none of it. Now his infantry is kind of in behind though. He's got Swiss infantry here and some other units, and they can now just kind of loop in behind, maybe try and take the building and then roll up the HRE line. That is possible, but they've got to hold on here in the middle, which is not looking good either. It looks like a lot of these troops here that are surviving are Dutch troops here. Clearly the Dutch are decent in melee, just like the French. Now we've got HRE Grenadiers going in again, I think. No, these are just line infantry. These are Grenadiers though, the Hungarian ones. They got smashed by cavalry. Both sides kind of stabilized. It might be okay actually, the Grenadiers in that fight. Okay, the French getting outmaneuvered a little bit here. Certainly this line is firing onto them by like 2 or 3 different angles right now. French need to be careful. They are going for another assault by looks of it onto the building here. Got Grenadiers, got Charles Weirgard, or whatever it is, how you pronounce that name. He's gone in. again, those are the French trying to shoot onto the hatchery here, trying to turn that flank. Here we go, the French now coming down the line here. They're going to try and smash their way through the hatchery. If they can melee these guys here and flank on around, that'd be huge. But there is also a cav in their back here. They need to be careful of. Chevaliers also could just smash this little French flank that they've got going on here. This unit can't form square either that they've left in reserve to protect. The Grenadiers are going to get routed out ruins. Once again, the ruins are defiant towards the French cause. And again, the cuirassiers on this central flank here. Central flank, I don't know, central point. They're going to get routed. Oh, they're gonna rout the Hussars. They're gonna hold on, I think, very nicely. They're doing a good job here. There's just too many French units now starting to rout, and it's just causing a bit of a mass rout right now. They are reforming. Saint-Cayer's got over infantry hits to try and support the center. It feels like Saint-Cayer is everywhere rather than actually Moreau and Le Corbe, who were originally in the center. Yeah, the Dutch did a fabulous job there. Got Saint-Suzanne, who's like on his right flank. He's still very much alive. Done a lot of retreating though, to be honest. Here we go, another cav fight now going to take place on this right flank here. I think the cavalry battalion will not win that fight. It's seen a couple of battles now. It's probably pretty tired. Oh wow, actually both sides routed. Fair enough. That probably is fair actually, to be honest. Like cavalry battalion, you know, pretty wounded, pretty battered. But it did actually charge the hatchery cav without receiving a charge itself. Yeah, again, Saint-Suzanne is looking like he's going to retreat. The French center looks really battered, really just defeated, I think, at this point. I'll be surprised if the French can turn this around. I mean, I don't doubt it. They definitely could. The hatchery, you know, they're always capable of a mass rout. But there you go. Looks like got some artillery back here getting taken out. And the Dragoons as well. I think we're guarding them, also getting taken out there. Another artillery piece, an 8-pounder down here that's still vulnerable as well. Yeah, it's not looking good for the French. They need to get these remaining troops out of here. Just get back now. We've actually got Moreau, who's right on the front lines, I think. There's, yeah, nothing between him and the enemy now. I think the infantry that was between him and the enemy just broke. They are still breaking a couple of units here and there. But it's not enough to change the battle, that's for sure. And they go for another engagement. Fired on as they break almost instantly. That is unfortunate. And what is breaking there? Oh, it's the, I think it's the artillery. Oh no, I think it's infantry. Okay, fair enough. Infantry breaking there. The artillery, I think, is also gone in the center. And there you go, this Chevalier is just going to mop up some units here. And that is unfortunate to see. It really is. French out on this flank here. Still nothing really going on. They're just battling away for this town. Yes, it definitely looks like the Battle of Neerwinden is going to be a historical result. I wouldn't say it's over just yet. Don't go and pack away your popcorn and your drinks. Still has a little bit of battle left. Still a little bit of chaos and death. And it'll be interesting to see how the French make a stand here, that's for sure. I presume it's the French getting to buildings. Yeah, we've got Grenadiers going in. It's not a bad idea. And also... Are they two occupiable houses there, or is that just giving me a notification for the same building? I think that's giving me a notification for the same building, which is quite funny. The French actually have managed to use the little carrier battalion here, routed some HRE units, and I guess, I don't know what they'll press onto. There's not much over here apart from emptiness. Whether they can get in behind the HRE lines here, maybe cause a little bit of a rout, bit of a mass rout, I don't know. The Dutch, by the way, are just continuing to just roll up what remains of the French down here. Yeah, Saint-Cayer has things made a brave stand, but it's looking all very, well, it's looking over, put it like that. Saint-Cayer has just fallen, and I think Moreau is about to go and do the same thing here. And that is the death of the center, and also the left-hand flank of the French, because the left just kind of just shifted into the center, so they couldn't get across that river and take those guns.
Our men are running,
and that is unfortunate. That really is. And yeah, it looks like the Battle of Neerwinden is coming to a close very quickly. I mean, the Dutch, you know, it's fun to see them in this one, I won't lie. They actually, you know, were quite a power. They had a lot of infantry. Not so much in the way of cav. I guess they didn't have much available cav, but yeah, infantry-wise, they could just spam it all out. The HRE, as always, usually brings a lot of cav, and they brought some decent heavies, cuirassiers, which made a big difference in the battle. The French, yeah, it was a tough one for them. That's for sure. They kind of really tried to like focus the battle around that ruin that's over there, and it didn't really work for them. They made multiple assaults, and they were just never going to happen. They could never take it with the angle that the infantry was taking the assault at. They were always going to get shot in the back by hostile troops. Now it's really down to Saint Suzanne to take as many troops down with them as possible, which I'm sure they'll do. Maybe all these officers here will be executed for treason or something, or failure to bring victory to the revolution. It's a brutal time. Imagine that was like the case. You're just like, ah, crap, I lost the battle. Now I'll lose my head to a big old guillotine.
The entire unit is dead, sir.
Yeah. I mean, the French are still like holding their own in these battles. I mean, they're not going to hold it if they get smashed about by artillery, though. That was painful. I think it was this unit here just got knocked over and like, oh no, it's this one here. A bunch of infantry just will fly back and get killed. And I guess probably the HRE here are just going to patiently wait, I think, for the Dutch to make an appearance, which they are slowly doing. They're flanking on around. If I was the Dutch here, just get behind, just sandwich these French. The French don't really have anywhere to run at this point. I think they're kind of milking kills a little bit here. Look at this. Come on. Look at these grenadiers milking the kills. Look at these retreating French. That's pathetic. That is pathetic. Get your kills your honourable way. The honourable way. Yeah, here we go. Looks like the columns of HRE troops are moving towards that French right flank. All that remains at the moment. Oh, the Dutch have a general. I wonder if he's actually a Dutch general, or if he's a French one.
The entire unit
I feel like the Dutch maybe should have had a combat gen if it's not actually a Dutch general. But that's just me. That's just me. I feel like that's again, A, slightly historical, but also just fair, I think. I feel like HRE just, I don't know what points they had, but I don't know, I wonder if they had more. The French players certainly seemed like they had a rough time in this one, that's for sure. They're still holding on. Just a few more volleys, and it'll all be over. Especially when the Dutch come flying on in. They're out of cav, no artillery. No artillery. They have like one building they're trying to hold here with some grenadiers. Problem is this HRE army, I don't think has any grenadiers either. So they don't have any means of actually storming that building. Unless they're just going to bombard it down, which they might do. They might do that instead. Yeah, there's a lot of German infantry, either allied or like Austrian German infantry. But no grenadiers. No grenadiers. Yeah, and there's no French units over there that are still alive, so yeah, there you go. That's a rough day, that's for sure, for the French. As we go, here we go, one last attack. It looks like we're going to see Trilliers going into melee. An interesting one, that's for sure. Maybe they've run out of ammo. They're on red ammo. They are trying to just rout these light infantry, which did get to orange. They are back on orange now. You can see, look like some Saxon or Allied infantry, that's for sure. They should rout those Trilliers easily. I mean, yeah, light infantry like skirmishers obviously aren't supposed to fight line infantry. And here we go, the heavies are arriving. Gracias are here, we've got more infantry on the way. They can start to really roll up this flank if they wanted to. The HRE also managed to rout some of these French units here. They can just carry on around because this grenadier unit can't fire because its unit's inside the building. And I guess that's how they're going to rout it. They just need to engage the unit outside the building. And by doing that, if they kill enough of them, then they should be able to rout the unit inside as well, I think. It usually is how it's going. Howitzer here is doing a lot of damage to morale as well. that might honestly be the an easy way as well, just to rout these French. The house is doing great stuff. What they're mainly there for, morale breakers. They're not going to do anything other than that. And here we go. Yep, looks like going to see some Austrian infantry going into the building. Looks like we're going to see Saint-Suzanne dismount. I think he might go into the building as well, maybe here. Is this bodyguard getting shot? It is. I think he might go into the building, though, just to help with the morale buff. Might be the case, which is not a bad idea, actually. I don't know why he dismounted. Maybe it was an accident. I think it was, because he's remounting up now. That's quite funny. I thought he was going to go in. Like, alright, Ben, I'll join you in the fight in the building. Just wait for me. Yeah, you can see here the HRE bringing a lot of firepower onto this flank here. Really trying to show power and fire. Power and fire. That's how I'm saying it now. Instead of firepower, it's power and fire. Here we go, yep. Some line infantry can form a square on the flank. Always a must-have, I feel. Playing NTW3. If you can do it, that's what I try to do. This gives you a little less worry about cavalry. Yeah, the Grenadiers, I think they're winning that fight. Yeah, winning slightly. Yeah, surely they can push forward here now. They can just push forward to the HRE and just mop up the rest of these French. Even if they don't win that fight, it doesn't really matter. Just send in these 5 or 6 infantry units. Smash you here and get up there. And they can just deal with the rest of these infantry and the general if they wanted to. But here we go, yeah, the French. Well, it's not really the French. The Dutch. Moving forward here, another general dead. Oh wow, they've really hunted down this general to the last man, I think. Wow, okay, that's brutal. No survivors today for the French. No generals are being spared. Artillery going off. Here we go. I mean, the French tightening up the semicircle. Oh my gosh, they're still fighting in this building here for the Grenadiers. Charles Decane? Yeah, he's having a good old fight in there. Using the tree line for cover. Try and get a little bit of an advantage. Yeah, really the HRE. Just push on. Who cares about this building? You could end the battle here and now. There we go, the mass of Dutch infantry going to go up and then around, I think, and we'll just see these guys just melee. I think you could melee the French even with the HRE troops right now. I think they've got, like, morale must be low. And they'll just get hit by so many sides of infantry. A slow execution this way, it's just painful to watch. Painful to watch, but we'll still fast forward a little bit. Just wait and see whether they make an assault. They might not. They might just stand and look at each other and shoot. Oh no, I think here we go. Here we go. I think HRE either just getting very close to shooting each other, like to shoot them. But they are just edging forward, going to go for a charge in a bit. Maybe they're waiting for the cav just to rest. I don't know what they're waiting for, to be honest. The Dutch are going to scale this hill before the HRE are routed them, that's for sure. Expecting these French units like holding on their red line and getting shot. There we go, finally they've routed. Finally, now these guys can just slap into the side of the French. Grenadiers did win, by the way. So we're going to have to see a take 2 of taking that building. It looks like Saint-Suzanne there is going to retreat as well. Got more routing French here. Yeah, everything's routed on that line. There you go. It didn't take long. And now it's just taking that building, which I don't know if there's even... Yeah, there is room for Saint-Suzanne, who can dismount once again and get into that building. So run, sir, run. Get into the building. Prolong this fight just a little longer. I think once they kill him in melee in there, then that will be GG, though. So, yep, there you go. This is the last French stronghold. I don't know what they'll storm it with, but to be honest, any infantry should do the job. I imagine. I mean, the general here is redlining already, so he should, even if he routes, he might, just from like a volley or something like that from outside, that might just rout him, and then the grenadiers would follow quite swiftly. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. It's been a good one, though. It's an interesting fight, that's for sure. I don't know if the French really did the right thing. I feel like they should have maybe played a bit more passive, maybe trying to make a smash through where the Dutch were. I mean, obviously the Cav was possibly not in their favor, I think, with the amount of heavies there were. Maybe should have tried to focus those cuirassiers down. And the left as well with Sankaya, I feel like wasted quite a lot of resources. Not a lot, but a fair few resources. In the end, which is kind of wasteful. He then ended up coming into the center, and that was probably for the best. That did make a bit of a difference, and also stabilized the line. But yeah, the French made a fair few pushes. Didn't really end up being anything. Obviously, you got to risk stuff and try something anyway. But yeah, it didn't unfortunately work, and now we're going to see the last execution here. I don't know if they made any major mistakes, apart from maybe around that rune. I think that was just a kind of a waste of resources. I think they should have pushed in this open ground here where they did, and sort of maybe the trees. They have a bit of progress, but not loads. And try to really single out those cuirassiers once they found them, just to either take them out with artillery or the cav or infantry. They should have really tried to just kill them off, because they made some big pushes and did help with the breakthroughs, along with those Dutch infantry. Really helped out with that. And then I think finally we're going to see some brave guys go in. It's going to be some Dutch infantry going in. They're not even sending in the true victors here, the HRE. They're sending in the Dutch. Go and try and claim the victory for them. Looks like they're going to fail. Battle is, yeah, kind of dragging on, actually. I really thought they would, like, oh, they'll mop them up, they'll kill, like, this final corps. Final corps lasted longer than the rest of the French army. I mean, no, that's not quite true, but, like, longer on its own than the French army did as a whole is what I meant. But, yeah. It nearly has, to be honest. Here we go, another unit looks like it's going to go in. They've actually been destroying this building. It's at 34%. It started bombarding it because it got that sick of fighting the French in here. Le Corbe, not Le Corbe, Saint-Suzanne is still in there. He's still got his 10 bodyguard as well. Here we go. Looks like some Bavarians going in. And then also some Grenadiers. This is really what they need in there. Storming it with everything they have. And there you go, Grenadiers start the combat winning, but redlining. And there you go, that's them gone. And that will be Saint-Suzanne also dead.
To the enemy.
And there you go, fallen building. Don't know why I get 2 notifications for it. What is now in there? Another Dutch unit. And that should be everything, I think. And there you go. General is dead as well. And there you go. We can have a look at the end results. And it is a defeat today for the French here at the Battle of Neerwinden. This was sent in by John Le Buffoon, who was playing as one of the French armies. I think he was playing as Saint-Cayer. So thank you very much, man, for sending this one in. Very much appreciated. Thank you as well for everyone that's took part in this battle. These scenarios would not happen without you guys. You always do an amazing job with them, and I hope you guys did enjoy watching it as well. It certainly was a fun one, and it's nice to see the HRE, beat the French occasionally. But anyway, we'll have a quick look at some of these end results. Cav here, the Carry Battalion getting 98 kills, the best here. Then Infantry 67, 54. Guns getting 47, but yeah, not great kills here. To be honest, for Saint-Cayer in this army today. So there you go, you can have a look at all those. But there you go, that is today's historical battle. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment, all of that to help as we work towards 10k subs. And I'll see you guys in the next NTW3 battle. Bye for now.